building. So, we're making sure that we're taking care of it as best as we can. We have great professionals. Obviously, our medical team, in conjunction with the NFL, is leading us on this. So there's nobody in the building, and we're working virtually today. And whether it's the staff, whether it's the players, so all that's been done today. I can't really give any more information on that, other than that's what we're doing with right now. So questions.
All right, Tim.
Hey, Bev, thanks for taking the time here. I got two for you. At this point in the season, are you guys just kind of now used to this and the virtual part of it, and it's not as big a disruption as maybe it would have been first, second week of the season when you're trying to still figure this thing out?
Yeah, for sure, Tim. We're used to the changes, the twists and turns that have been thrown our way during this 2020. I think everybody's dealing with that. And fortunately, through the off season and through the things that we're doing, during the season, we've been able to get pretty adept with the Zoom meetings and, how to handle all the information that we need to pass, back and forth with the players, with the coaches. So I think we're in a good spot with it. We were going to have a walkthrough practice today anyway, with a shorter week. So obviously we won't have that today. So I was still, wanted to be conscious of, their bodies and their legs. And so we were going to do that. So this is just another way to, take a day off of them.
And then secondly, Pro Bowl announcement last night, TJ Hockenson and Frank, guys that you've specifically worked with pretty close with all year. Just can you just talk about all three guys who made it real quick and just what they've meant all season long?
Yeah, it was probably the best part of my day yesterday was to be able to call those three guys and inform them that they've made the Pro Bowl teams. I mean, super excited for really all three of them. Jack is, as a young punter in the league, and with how he's punted, and I know we talked about it the other day how there's still improvements that he can make, but I mean he's punting at a high level. Was punting really well in our last game. Just doing a great job, and he's really done a nice job for himself. Then Frank, I mean, what a great guy, to have that happen to. He's a great leader on our offense. And, he's obviously the anchor of the offensive line up there in the middle. And then, with Decker on the edge. And he's gotten better each and every year I've been here, become a better communicator. Like I said, a great leader. And I was really happy for him. That was a fun call to make, because he can't talk. So I called him on FaceTime. And the second he answered, I'm like, don't say anything. I just got to talk to you. And, and it was fun. It was really a fun conversation. And, obviously one-sided because he couldn't say much, but his face lit up and it was really exciting. Then also TJ, I mean, couldn't be happier for a guy that really went through a tough off season with the injury that he had at the end of the year. And then all that work that you have to do, all the stuff that, I'm sure that he felt he had to live up to be able to come back and then put the year together that he had, and then to be able to be recognized for that. I think it speaks for him. Obviously, the coaches that work with those guys as well. All those guys did a great job.
Thanks, Bev.
Mike.
Yeah. Hey, Bev. How are you? First, Matthew Stafford. We didn't ask about him yesterday with obviously all the Braden news. How did he end up coming out of Sunday, and where does he kind of stand right now in terms of maybe playing Saturday or not?
Yeah. So we have a short week, so we got one less day to prepare for him. He was sore. Obviously coming out of the game he did take a couple hits in that game, as we talked about yesterday. And, again, he's tough as they come, he's tough as nails. And so we'll do the same, basically the same plan. I think he's, maybe a little bit better than he was last week, but we'll just continue to take it day to day.
Now that you're out of playoff contention officially and, there's really no shot at a winning season, do you have the conversation of maybe shutting him down for the last two games to just let him fully heal versus kind of gutting through like he did last week?
To be honest with you, Mike, I don't think he'll let that happen. These guys are true competitors. I think you saw what his statement to you guys after the game. There's a sense of pride. There's a sense of that you need to be there. You want to be there for your teammates. And obviously to make it clear, we're not going to put him in a situation where he can have a long-standing injury from this or repercussions from it. But if the guy wants to go out there and compete with his teammates and be there for them, then I love him for it.
And just lastly, with the COVID situation, how does this work now? Do you end up being maybe back in the building tomorrow? Do you have to kind of plan to not practice potentially all week? Like, where does that stand, and how do you handle that?
Yeah, good question. I think it's really right now we're still the NFL and our people are still working through all the you got to go back through the contact tracing and all those things, the close contacts. You got to figure out who all those are and then where they stand with that. So I think it's gonna I'll know more tonight about tomorrow. Right now we're planning on being in the building tomorrow, but that could change as well, and we could go virtual meetings again tomorrow, and then not have practice as well. So just kind of playing that by ear.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Kyle?
Hey, Bev. Excuse me. Hey, Bev. Is there an update on Frank and what you need to see from him this week for him to play on Sunday or on Saturday?
Yes, he has another appointment coming up on Thursday with the specialist again, and again that will tell us all the information that we need to know, how well he's healed, and if he's healed well enough to be able to go out there and perform.
Okay. And on DeAndre Swift, what's the coaching point on his fumble there at the goal line? It kind of looked like the ball was coming out even before he made contact with the defender. What did you see on the film, and what's the coaching point there?
Yeah, I mean it's all about the ball. I mean, you got to do every guy that has the ball, you're entrusted with it, and we got to do everything we can at the end of the play to have the ball when we're done. So, I think it was asked after the game. I don't want to take the guy's aggressiveness away. There are things that we coach and teach about, how we want him to enter the play on the goal line. But the bottom line is you got to end up with the ball.
And last one from me, with Hockenson making the Pro Bowl, I'm just kind of curious. We saw such big growths from him from year 1 to year 2. Where can his game grow going into year 3? I mean, what can he focus on next offseason, next year to make another growth in year 3?
Yeah, he's like I've told you before. I mean, the guy's a tireless worker, and so we just need to continue to have those those incremental gains. I think a big thing for him would be to continue to work on in the run game. Just hand placement and finish in the run game, and then continue to add to his repertoire that he has to when he's running routes. The little nuances to shake free, to get cleaner. Maybe a new release. Just those kind of things to continue to make sure that your game, gets better and better.
Thanks, Darrell.
Dave?
Hey, Darrell. I don't imagine you've had time to sit back and digest the last couple of weeks yet, but I don't know. Can you just maybe reflect a little bit on how crazy it's been? I mean, just taking over and everything you've dealt with. You had the one COVID not scare. I don't know. You got pushed back last week, the other week, stuff today. Everything that went on yesterday. What's this just last 3 weeks been like for you?
I don't even know if crazy is the right word. I mean, it's been unbelievable. I mean, even just the last couple of days, it just seems like, is it going to stop? I'm just trying to figure out how to manage it and doing the best I can. There's obviously there's so many of these things that are unforeseen that there's no manual on how to do this, Dave. And, it gets thrown on you. So, I manage it the best way I can. I have great people around me to really help me out in these situations that I can lean on. And it's been crazy. It's been fun. And, I'm gaining a lot of great experience from it.
No doubt. Mike asked the question I want to ask about your quarterback, so I'll ask you about the other quarterback in Brady. I mean, you played the position. Just want to know how much respect you have for all he's accomplished this in his career, and then this season in particular, to do it with a new team, new system, everything that he's done, and to still be playing at a high level. I don't know. What do you make of him doing that as well, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, again, we're talking about one of the greatest of all times to ever do it at the position. I mean, he's played at a high level. Obviously, he's won the biggest games, and to see the transition, even to go from the Patriots to the Bucs, and then have to make that transition, as you said, with new teammates, learning a new offense. I'm sure it was invigorating, but it's a huge challenge. And I mean, there's a lot of when you're in one system for as long as he's been in it. I'm sure the new verbiage and all the wrinkles that he had to learn, and then as well to learn new teammates. He's even doing a little bit different. I mean, you can see him; he's throwing the ball down the field. People say he can't throw it down the field. I mean, don't put anything past that guy because I mean he's a heck of a player, and he's proved us wrong many times.
Thank you.
Do two more, Stoney.
Yeah, Bev, I don't know if this was addressed. I joined a little late. Two things. First, social media yesterday, some of your players, Agnew, Fox, they, kind of were bewildered about what happened to Braden. Have you talked to those guys individually and about, and are they okay with everything now? Not to get into intimate details, but I'm sure you saw what they tweeted.
Yeah, I've talked to a number of the players, and obviously I talked to the rest of the team today. And like I said yesterday, I'll keep those private. But I understand. I mean, I understand where they're coming from. I understand this situation. But once I'm able to speak with all those guys, and I think they understand my perspective and the team's perspective as well.
And the other thing, obviously, you have TJ, the tight end in the future. But we finally got to see Hunter Bryant play. He made a terrific catch, great throw. What's the upside of him? Down the road. I mean, he looks terrific in one game.
Yeah, I mean that was nice to see. Some of the things that we had seen in training camp, and then unfortunately he got hurt right before the real game started. So it was great to see him work his way to get back in there. He has the ability to be that dynamic type of receiver, but he's obviously got a long way to go. He's got to continue to grow. He's got to continue to learn the offense, learn all the things that that he needs to do to continue to get better. But it's a good start. I mean, your first catch. I mean, that's a pretty good play to make right there to start. There was another chance somewhere in the game there down the middle as well. He went up pretty high and tried to catch that one. So it's good to see.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, O'Hara, last one.
Yeah, Coach, this is a Brady question, but it's a little bit different and really relying on your expertise and all that. Is all of how many reps you've seen quarterbacks throw the ball. I wonder when they get older, like 23 to 33 to 43, they have to make any compensating factors for age to produce it the same way. In other words, change delivery, anything like that you might have seen in Brady and older quarterbacks in general.
Well, I think to be quite honest with you, I think it has a lot to do with your God-given talent. And, I was around Brett Favre for a long time. I know we talk about it probably too much on here, but that guy had such a special arm. Like, you could go ask him right now, he could probably still sling it like he did, at 40 or at 30 or at 20. But because he's just that special, same thing like a guy like, Adrian Peterson to be going at it, even at his age and with the physicalness, his body being able to hold up. And Tom's one of those guys that does a great job of taking care of his body. He's very aware of, the decline that you can definitely have. So he's staying on top of it, and he does everything to keep himself physically fit at a high level to be able to do it. And to be honest with you, I haven't seen much change at all. I don't think the motion has changed, and he's still throwing the ball. He's throwing the ball down the field more than he ever has. So, I think some of these guys are blessed that way.
Well, basically, he's taking care of what he has.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Hey, thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Coach. Thanks, everybody. We'll have TJ Hockenson up shortly.
I appreciate you guys.
Hey, Bev talked about it too, and I know you've mentioned it before, just the difficulty of this offseason of kind of having to rehab and go through that injury and everything that's associated with that. Just how rewarding is an award like this and the season that you've had after everything that you went through kind of this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the beginning of last off season was tough. Just breaking my leg and then, tearing a few ligaments in my ankle. It was definitely a tough situation. And just being able to rehab from that, and having some great physical therapists that helped me along the way. And coming back from that, and then being able to go down and still, have an off season. It truly, it means a lot to all the people, that voted. And, obviously the city of Detroit, just being able to play for this city obviously means a lot. And, it truly, something like this, it's not just one person. I think a lot of people go into it. And, I think I'm just really grateful. So.
Michael? Hey, TJ. So obviously there's not an actual game that's going to be played. Like, is there a level of disappointment for you in all of this, that you make the Pro Bowl and there's not an actual physical Pro Bowl? You don't get a trip, you get really nothing.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you want to be around those guys, around some of the best players in the league. That obviously that part of it sucks, but. On the same hand, it's still such a huge honor and such something that you take pride in. So, obviously that's disappointing part of it, but I think we're still going to try and have something, make the most out of it. And, obviously, so.
And do you play Madden? Because all this is going to happen over Madden. Like, do you actually play Madden, or is this like, have you played it?
Honestly, I'm not a huge video game guy, so I might be having some tough times, but maybe we can, after the season's over, maybe we can try to get a little better before we play. So we'll see.
And on a more serious note, you obviously talked about the broken leg and the ligaments in the ankle. Was there a concern, now that we kind of maybe understand the true severity of it, that you might not be able to get back to the level you even were last season, let alone where you are now? Were you worried about that at all?
I think, there's a lot of people in my, I want to say in my corner, a lot of people that really helped me, just the mental part of the game, while you're not being able to do the physical part. So just learning as much as you can, on the field, and then just being able to translate it when you can go. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of guys in the locker room that, just really, laid it out there, and as long as you work hard and as long as you do, what your trainers tell you and what everyone's telling you, then, you'll be able to come back, and that really meant a lot. A lot of guys, like I said, had my back throughout the offseason, texting me, just trying to, make sure that, things were going well, everything was going well, and, and ended up having to, do all that, and then, being able to come back and play at, not only just being able to play, but, being able to play at such a high level, obviously means a lot. And, there's not a lot of better guys that, I can ask for in that locker room. So
cool. Appreciate it. Thanks, CJ.
Yep.
Mary?
Hey, DJ, I'm glad I'm not in the hair contest. I'd get crushed by you. Just
I like it.
Just had a little chuckle there. What you and this team have to play for now that the playoffs are mathematically out of reach. Just putting the words, against the Bucks and Vikings, what you guys have to play for.
Yeah, I mean, I think it doesn't really, I mean, you're just playing for yourselves. You're playing for this team. There's a lot of guys on your back. We're all together as a unit. We're here all year round. We're together. We're talking. So just playing for the guys next to you. And obviously there's a level of respect for the game. That goes into it. You respect the game. You're going to go out and play as hard as you can. every single snap. I think that's a huge part of our dynamic and our locker room. So I think everyone's gonna go out, and you're not gonna see any change in effort or attitude. I think we're all still going out there trying to do our best and come out with a win. So.
John?
Yeah, TJ, the opposite tight end this week, Rob Gronkowski. Just curious your assessment of what you've seen this year and the career that he's had.
Obviously, I grew up watching Gronk, and I was just watching him throughout his career at New England, and all the success that he's had as a tight end. It's going to be exciting to be able to see him pre-game and be able to talk to him. Just a guy like that's done it at such a high level throughout his entire career and still doing it at such a high level is something that obviously you want to be able to talk to, you want to be able to learn from, and so like I said, it's going to be super exciting to be able to see him in action. Never actually got to see him in person and really get next to him, so that'll be cool. Just a guy like that. So
appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, last two, Stoney, then Dave.
Yeah, TJ, congratulations. Did Kittle hook you up? Did he text you, give you any congratulations at all?
Yeah. George is one of the best guys that I've been around. Just a tremendously good friend. And playing with him at Iowa was such a fun thing. And just being able to get that text from him, a guy that you look up to, and a guy that has helped you out throughout your career, is a cool feeling. So he reached out, and it's a special thing for sure.
And not to diss anyone, but were you kind of surprised that Tanyan with 10 touchdowns didn't make it?
Robbie T. That's the fan vote. That's all those guys. There's a lot that goes into it, but I trained down with Robbie T. In Nashville, with those guys, and he works his butt off. And having 10 tuds is a cool thing for him. Whether he makes it or not, but that's such a tremendous accomplishment, and he's a great player. So you might not have seen him this year, but I'm sure you will here in the future. So wouldn't be doubtful about that.
Thank you.
All right, Dave.
Said Robbie T. I thought he was going by Bob now. He was Robert when he was here for that.
Bobby. That's what I hear they call him over there. I don't know. We always call him Robbie. So.
All right. I just wanted to hit on Gronk a little bit more. I don't know if you have plans to maybe get a jersey or something this week, but can you just, I don't know, when you were coming up, and you've probably talked about this before, was he a guy, or who were your guys that you watched, and what did you like about him way back when, if he was one of those guys?
Yeah, he was a guy that back in college I watched. Brian Ferentz was my coach at Iowa, my tight ends coach, and obviously offensive coordinator. And he actually got the chance to coach Gronkowski in New England early in his career. So we watched a lot of clips of him, watched what he was able to do as a tight end, and Brian he told me many stories of Gronk and just how he worked and how he loves the game, and just the kid in him and how much fun that is to be around. And I think that's something that I try to have fun for playing this game, and because it really is a kid's game, and that's something that hearing from Brian that Gronk did, and watching what he's able to do on film, and just having fun, and the way he uses his body, all his catches that he had, this is something that I've tried to translate into my game, and just being able to use my body in different situations. So like I said, he's such a great player, someone that I looked up to for sure growing up and throughout my career. So like I said, it's gonna be fun to be able to talk to him.
You gonna try to get that jersey?
Yeah, that's the plan, but we'll see.
Awesome. Congrats on making the Pro Bowl too.
I appreciate that.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you, TJ.
Cool. I like it. Thanks, guys.
Hey, guys, at 2:15, we'll have Sean Ryan, so we'll just restart this.